Hello YouTube. This is kind of a part 2 of my Donald Trump haters video. I don't know what I'm going to name that video yet. But yes, I got some haters for posting my own opinion about Donald Trump, which is kind of hypocritical and interesting because people who love Donald Trump, they love him because he speaks his mind. He's very outspoken. He says very brash things. When I say some very non-brash things, I just speak my opinion and I keep it civil. People will lose their minds. It's crazy. And it wasn't a ton of people. I just had a few people who crossed me out and said some really horrible things to me. But I want to make this video talking about language. In all of my videos that I think might be controversial, you'll often hear me say, I'm looking forward to your comments. Please keep them civil. Please keep them polite. That's the end of my video, and I'll wait for you to respond. I want to talk about this. It's not that I'm so offended by bad language. I'm a young guy. I go to R-rated movies. I've listened to gangster rap. I've went to junior high and high school. I know all these words. I don't necessarily like being called these words, but it's like no big deal. You're on the internet. You can type anything you want to, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't go over to your house and beat you up, and I don't desire to. But the reason why I tell you to keep your language civil and polite is because I'm looking out for you. I am truly looking out for you so you don't seem uneducated and ignorant. Whenever you're in an argument, I rarely curse if I'm in a debate or an argument. It rarely happens. I have to be super ticked off for me to start cursing someone out. And I'll tell you a story of the last time I cursed someone out. That was an ugly situation, but it wasn't that guy's fault either. But I'll tell you that later. But yes, when you're in an argument or a debate, if you disagree with someone, do not curse them out. Do not use any profanity or vulgarity. It makes you seem ignorant, because if the only thing you can say is mother effer, son of a bitch, whatever, piss off, any of that, if that's your go-to argument and you have nothing to back it up, then basically you're just shouting obscenities and you have no argument. You're just saying things in the small hope that you might bring me down to your level. Now, if you are arguing with someone and you have a high vocabulary, you use a plethora of different words to get your point across. It's funny, I got the word plethora, but I kind of went brain dead after that. But you sound so much more educated. You sound like you know what you're talking about. You're bringing in a legitimate argument, stating your with facts. You sound like you know what you're talking about because you're actually talking about a subject. You're not just yelling out names and saying, well, I disagree with you, you mother effer, or whatever. Broaden your vocabulary. It really helps you in an argument. It really keeps you from looking like an idiot. And that's pretty much the point of this video. In high school, I've cursed someone out twice in anger. And I regret it because they brought me down to their level. I did curse the same person out. It's two different people. They deserved it. They were bad people, but I shouldn't have cursed them out. The last time I truly cursed someone out and I was legitimately ticked off was at a nightclub. I was in Arkansas and I got this major sunburn on my back. Like over 75% of my back was burnt. I was technically a burn victim, but I was not in a position to I didn't know where orthodox was, and I didn't know how bad it was until 3 or 4 days later when my back was still radiating heat. it was constantly getting worse on a daily basis. But this was like the second night that I had this bad sunburn, and the fight broke out in this nightclub, and the bouncer came by and said, "Move out of the way," and he pushed me on my back, or he pushed my back to move me out of the way to get to this fight. Now, this bouncer technically did nothing wrong, and this is what saddens me the most about how I reacted. I was just in such pain that for a minute there, I wasn't thinking rationally about the situation that I was in, and I turned around and I said so many things to him. I would never dare repeat on camera, and he didn't hear me. It was a loud nightclub, loud music, lots of people talking or yelling at each other. He was concerned with the fight. He wasn't concerned with me. So he didn't hear me. But I still feel bad about that situation, because I needlessly cursed him out and said all these horrible things to him, and he did nothing wrong. He was doing his job. He had no clue that I had a terrible sunburn. A sunburn that was so bad that I could not sleep on my back, and I was staying in a hammock. A sunburn that was so bad I had to be treated with Silvadene for a few weeks. Bandage up, leaking all over the place. It was terrible. I don't mean to get too graphic there. Of course, I have a video of the doctor scrubbing my finger that I severed. So I guess I could be a little bit graphic. It's kind of my thing. I'm not offended by blood. The only time blood really scares me is if it's the blood of someone I care about. But yeah, I felt really bad about cursing him out. So, again, when I say in my videos, keep them civil, keep them polite, I'm trying to make you sound educated. I'm trying to make you sound better, like you know what you're talking about. Because once you start mudslinging and just cursing people out, trying to hurt them, you no longer have a valid argument. You're just yelling obscenities and profanity, and no one's going to take you seriously. So that's it. I'm a Satsu5, and I'm out. Keep your comments civil, keep them polite. Thank you for watching.